Listen. Now, one thing that we are not going to be doing further, we will not be writing the formulas now in materials. You all have written that in 3 questions. You all write that thing in exams also. You all write down that particular thing in homework section also. But now in class, we are not going to be writing. You are familiar with the thing, so that's more than enough. Okay. So let's start it off with question number 7, please. K Limited manufactures NXC by mixing 3 raw materials. Okay. For every batch of 100 kgs of NXC, 125 kgs of raw material are used. Okay. In April 2023, 60 batches were prepared to produce an output of 5600 kgs of NXC. The standard and the actual particulars for April 2023 are as follows. A, B, C. These are standard mix of the quantity. These are not standard quantities, beta. These are standard mix. So, those guys have just given you a ratio 50, 30, 20. Rate in rupees 20, 10, 5. Actual mix, actual rate. Okay. And then quantity of raw material purchased. Okay. Calculate all the variances. Let's start to be doing that. In this question, there is raw materials purchased, beta. There is raw materials purchased. Okay, I think then there will be raw material consumed also. That's what I'm trying to be thinking. So, there will be then stocks also. If there will be stocks also, then in that case, we should be making that thing in our actual data particulars column also. Okay, let's start. Slightly an interesting question. Okay, you all write down please. Type, given standard, revised standard, actual. Material variances are always dependent upon output. Quantity, rate, amount, particulars, quantity, rate, amount. Now, there are 3 types of raw material ABC, no? So, write down opening stock, add purchases, less closing stock. Opening stock, add purchases, less closing stock. Opening stock, add purchases, less closing stock. Now, listen. I don't expect much from you, to be very honest, okay, in this question, except write in pencil and get me this particular figure, okay. Just this much you all try to be doing. Complete your given standard, revised standard in pencil, you get me this particular figure. Even I don't know, once your time is over, then I'll start to be solving, but only get me this. Don't touch the actual data, I'll try to take care of that, okay. But get me this particular information, please. If somebody gets me that amount, please do let me know. 1,05,000. We'll just take it up. Now, let's do the things. See, for every batch of 100 kgs of NXC, that's your product's name, I think, 125 kgs of raw material are used. Okay. So, therefore, in this particular case, for producing 100 kgs of the product, whatever standard data they give, I just put over here, how much raw material is required? 125 kgs. Now, this 125 kgs, see, I'll tell you one thing. From here onwards, now they are telling you what is happening in April. Okay. So, obviously, from here we'll start away with the actual data. So, before this, obviously, this particular data must be standard data here. Acha, whatever raw materials will get consumed, they'll get consumed in what ratio? 50, 30, 20. So, please divide 125 in the ratio of 5:3:2. That comes to how much? 2.5. Just a sec. A, B, and C. Yeah, 62.5. 37.5 and 25. They should have been purchased at what rates? 20, 10, 5. So therefore this will be 1250, 375, 120. Total is how much? 1750. Now see. Now in reality, what was the output in this particular question? Everybody will tell me. 5600. Okay, this was the output. Okay, how many batches? Not much interested here. Your output is your product. Your product in this case is NXC. So therefore 5600 kgs. So cross multiply please. Just a second. 3500, 2100, 1400, 7000 at the rate of 20, 10 and 5, 7000, 21,000, 42,000. Correct, no? No, sir, 3500 into 20 is 70,000. 70, 91, 98. I've written something wrong or what? No, no. Right, sir. It's correct only. 98,000. Now see. Further. Actual raw material purchased. Okay, so 5,000, 2,000, 1,200. At what rate? I think 21, 8 and 6. Please compute the amounts.
Sir,
yeah.
That device standard is for 60 versions, na?
No, it is for 5600 kgs. Your output is 5600. Your output is always of your product. Same as your first question that we all did today. Your output is not 60 kg. 60 batches were prepared. Okay. But your output means output of your product. Your product that was produced was 5600 kg. So we prepare revised standard for 5600 kg. Okay. 16,000, 7,200. This much finish. Obviously 5600 kgs. In case you all want, you all can always write down of NXC. Of NXC. Of NXC. Now see. This question though only becomes special because of one thing that I'm going to be doing right now. See. Now, you have been given this data also. Actual mix of the quantity. You all will understand one thing. This ratio and this ratio are not same, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, obviously, this must be the ratio of consumption. Okay. I think so. So, therefore, 60, 20, 20 must be the ratio of this figure is to this figure is to this figure. Is that all okay?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So now there is again one problem. Beta, I know that this is to this is to this is 60, 20, 20. I'm aware of that. But obviously one other thing also. I'll have to divide this number in this particular ratio, no? So therefore, I will require this particular number. What is this number? This is your actual raw material consumed, right? Okay. How much raw material you actually consumed? That particular number I require. In our previous question, quantities were directly given to you, not a problem. But in this question, it is not given to you. So you got to be getting me this particular number first. And then I'll divide it up in that particular ratio. Okay. I give you 1 minute. Try to read your this paragraph in a very proper way. See what information we all have not used. Try to be using that. I want actual raw material consumed. Think. Listen, see, Now, whatever I'm saying, whether you have got the answer or not, just pay attention, because something new I'm going to be saying that obviously I have not written in shorts on purpose. See, I want actual consumption. From where the hell I get it? Okay, listen. For every batch of 100 kgs, so one batch is supposed to be of 100 kgs, 125 kgs of raw material are used. Okay, so what I'll do, batch, raw material and output. For one batch, 125 kgs of raw material should have been used. Output should have been 100 kgs. You all will understand this particular data is supposed to be the standard data. Okay, this particular data is supposed to be the standard data. In fact, we have recorded this particular data over here, beta, 125 and 100. So it is your standard data, right? Now, this is your standard data. Okay, now next line, be very careful whatever I am saying. You all tell me, in reality, how many batches were prepared? 60. Okay, now whatever I'm going to be saying, you're not expecting it. Okay, listen. Whenever you produce one batch, output should have been 100. So if we have prepared 60 batches, which is your actual data, can we say your output should have been 6000 kgs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For one batch, output should have been 100 kgs. So if we have prepared 60 batches, okay, 60 is actual. So output that should have come out is 6000 kgs. Everybody will tell me first of all, till here it is okay?
Yes.
Okay, so for one batch 100 kg should have been produced. Should mean standard. So for 60 batches, output that should have been produced is 6000. But some has told you no, some has told you no, some has told you no, that actual output is nothing but 5600 kgs. Correct? No? The problem has told you that particular thing, no?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, we took 5600 only. Obviously, we will take actual output only here. Now let's talk the same thing in terms of material also. Whenever you prepare one batch, you should consume this much amount of materials. So for 60 batches, you should have consumed material of how much? 7500. Now you will tell me, did the question say something else happened?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, when something else happened for output, they told you, no, actual output was 5600 kgs, correct? No?
Yes, sir.
For this, those guys have not told anything. So therefore, if for one batch 125 kgs should have been consumed, for 60 batches 7500 should have been consumed, but if nothing is told, 7500 would have been consumed, no?
Yes.
Yes.
If something else was given, they'll tell you. Example, our today's lecture was supposed to be from 7 to 10. If I do not tell you anything, continue further.
It will be 7 to 10.
It will be 7 to 10 only. If standards, if something else happened, they'll tell you, no, for sure. Okay, so do one thing. You write down over here 7500. Refer short. Refer shorts. Now, 7500, please divide it in this particular ratio, in the ratio of actual mix. So 7500 into 60%, 4500, 20% 1500, 20% 1500. Now listen, everybody is going to be doing one thing for me right now. Put an asterisk over here, 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 write down 7500 has been divided in ratio of 60 is to 20 is to 20. Okay, now see. Tell me one thing in this question. Have they given you any data about opening and closing stocks? Just asking. No. So now opening and closing stocks will be the balancing figure, beta, because there is a difference between purchases and consumption. So therefore this is 5,000, this is 4,500. Tell me there will be opening stock or closing stock? Closing stock of 500. Okay, one thing. Honestly, if there is no opening stock, can we say even method will not apply, no?
Yes, sir.
What to do the breakup? Can we say this will be out of this only, no, as such? Okay. So therefore, you all tell me 500 will get valued at what rate?
21.
21. 10,500. $94,500, and against opening stock please put dashes. Same way 500 will be the closing stock. 8, 4,000, 12,000. Now tell me in last case there will be opening stock, no, for sure? 300. Now you all will understand, unlike the last question, beta, you are not given rates of the opening stock. You all will understand, I don't think so. Let's assume anything extra apart from 6, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but this is an assumption. Put a double asterisk on this and write down, it is assumed that opening stock was purchased at the rate of rupees 6. That is current period. That is current period's rate. Done?
Yes.
So therefore this figure will be 1800. This is 9,000. Total it up, 94,500 plus 12,000 plus 9,000. 1,15,500. Now listen, I exempt you means you might not do it, from writing the formulas. But now this question is far easier than your previous questions also. One thing, FIFO method will not be required over here because there is no opening stock. There is no opening stock. Okay. Truly speaking, if somebody wants for 1500, you can do a time pass. You can write down 300 and 1200. Although if you have some foresight, then you all will understand, as both of them are at the same rate, even that breakup is not required, no, actually.
Yes.
Okay, in any case, I leave that judgment to you. You can write down twice also, like you all had done for the previous question. In any case, answer is going to be same. Or you can be writing down one single number of 1500. In any case, the purchase cost is rupees 6 only. Okay. You are ditto doing this question now for the remaining 5 variances, which you are going to be computing by yourself. I give you all 8 minutes to be doing that. No writing the formula. Exactly like your last question, you all are doing it. Okay. Now, your 8 minutes starts now. I want all checks to be written, please, to ensure that whatever you all are doing is all correct. Please start. Any doubt? See your last question, but as per me, that thing should not come. Have you all finished? Have you all finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me all the variances, please. Just the final answer. 17,500 will be your first answer.
Yes, sir.
Broken up into
3,000
3,000
and
adverse.
14,500.
14,500 adverse. And this broken up into Are you all speak no yaar, you all did know. Is this your answer? Hello? This is 7,500, no?
Yes, sir. 7,500.
This is first, second, third, fourth and fifth. Anybody has a doubt in anything, you tell me right now.
मेरा 7,000 आंसर नहीं है.
In fifth one,
Yes, sir.
beta 7,000 minus 7,500. Do that on calci only. Into this upon this, no? Do it, no? Some other variance, any problem?
No, sir. Not right.
Okay. Now listen. In this problem, actual consumption is not given. We want actual consumption. For one batch, company should have consumed 125 kg. For 60 batches, this much raw material should have been consumed. If nothing is given, this much would have been consumed. We are always interested in raw material consumed. As in CA Inter, we follow something called as partial plan. That I told you all in the last question. Okay. Now, question number 8. Leave two sides. I guess one side should be enough for this. Okay, then question number 9. Leave two sides. So 3 sides you all can leave, please. Now, material and labor are going to be quite similar to each other. Why? If material cost is a direct material cost, but a labor cost is also a direct labor cost. If you produce 1 unit, material cost is incurred. If you produce 1 unit, even labor cost is incurred. Okay. So more or less whatever will apply to material will apply to labor. Obviously adjustments like stock will not be coming for labor. Okay, all those things only applies to material. So in this particular case, whatever I have told you all for material should be applicable to labor. Although there will be few changes here and there, but for the first question, even those things will not much matter. Why? See, we are still going to be having type. Tell me, material cost was dependent upon what factor? Output. But labor cost is also dependent upon output. From the first lecture of costing, we are doing that only, beta. Material and labor, both of them are incurred whenever you all produce something. So therefore, even this will be dependent upon the output. Given standard, revised standard, actual, exactly in the same way. But obviously, instead of quantity rate amount, you are going to be having hours rate amount. And in type, you will be having type of workers. Say that you could be having, say, skilled people, semi-skilled people, unskilled people, etc. etc. Okay. Now, for producing this much output, how many hours workers should have taken? At what rate we should have paid them? What should have been the cost? Then try to check what was the actual output. For actual output, how many hours were actually taken? At what rate did we pay them? What was the actual labor cost for us? In case, next line, I hope so you all will understand. In case this data and this data are same only, revised standard will not be required, no? If ever they are same. If suppose this data is for 500 units, this is also for 500 units only, then this thing will not be required because given standard itself will become revised standard, no?
Yes.
Okay, but mostly they will not be same. So therefore, prepare your revised standard. Okay. Now, once you all do this particular thing, the job will be all over. One small thing. Obviously, do not call this particular thing as input. Beta, material input is finished goods output. Labor input is not finished goods output. Labor does not go inside the machine, no. He does not get processed, no. Correct, no? So, material input hota hai, okay, but there is nothing called as labor input, beta. So, simply you can call this particular thing as total. Names of the variances are different because it is labor, but more or less the calculation is going to be same only. Over there, the first one was total material cost variance. Obviously, over here is going to be total labor cost variance, okay. Obviously, that will be standard labor cost minus actual labor cost. Second, over there it was material price variance. Over here it will be labor rate variance. Labor rate variance can also be called as wage rate variance. Now, you all try to make the formula out of it. You all tell me, as per you, it will be what minus what into what? Tell me. Standard rate minus actual rate into actual hours, no, as such.
Yes.
Okay, so obviously you multiply by actual hours over here. Okay. Then in that case, there will be third variance. Third variance in this case will be labor efficiency variance. That is, for producing this much output, how many hours workers should have taken? That is this, this and this. Minus how many hours they have actually taken multiplied by standard rate. So therefore, it will be standard hours minus actual hours into standard rate over here. Okay. Obviously, you will be computing for all the types of workers. Here also you will be computing for all the types of workers. Then in that case, your check will start to be taking place. Okay. Then fourth wala variance. Now, fourth variance is going to be in this particular case labor mix variance. But we have a slightly a dangerous name for it also. It's also called as gang composition variance. Gang composition variance. Whereby you all will understand. This number we divide in standard ratio, correct, no? Actual hours we will divide in standard ratio, no? So therefore, in that case, you are going to be dividing the things into two parts. On left hand side, we are going to be writing standard mix for actual hours worked. So therefore, divide your actual total hours in that particular ratio. On right hand side, compute all the, you compute the variance. So in case you want to be making some formula out of it, it will be standard mix for actual hours worked minus actual mix for actual hours worked, obviously multiplied by standard rate. And lastly, in this particular case, fifth one, this is called as labor yield variance, also called as sub efficiency variance. And of course, this is going to be for this much output, how much overall hours you should have taken minus how much overall hours you have taken into standard weighted average wage rate. Is that all okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so therefore this will be your last one, that is standard total hours minus in this case actual total hours into in this case standard weighted average wage rate. Okay, that's it. With that, all your things will be coming to an end. Now, one question I have exactly of this particular type, which is as simple as whatever I have told you. It is almost same like your previous questions of material. So, come over there, question number 10, please. From the following details, compute labor cost variances. We shall do that. Standard data for 500 units. For 500 units, these three types of workers should have taken these many hours at this much rate. This should have been the cost. In reality, these many hours at this much rate, and this will be your actual cost. That's it. Okay. Now, you all tell me, labor variance are dependent upon what factor?
Labor hours.
Material variances are dependent upon what particular factor?
Output.
Output. So, labor variances are also dependent upon what factor? Output. You tell me standard data is for what level of output? 500. But in reality, workers have produced how much output? 600. So, can we say revised standard will also be made for 6000 units, no? Okay, so you're going to be having given standard for 500 units. You're going to be having revised standard for 600 units. You're going to be having actual data for 600 units. So given standard is there with you all. Actual data is there with you all. Revised standard you all prepare. And then names of the variances I have all written over here. Okay, you all start, you all finish. Start please. Please ensure that everything that you all do is all perfect, and I will request that you should be writing the names of the variances as it is a new head as such. And names you are going to be taking it from the screen right now. Okay, so you all start to prepare. Copy down your given standard and actual data, and then prepare your revised standard and then start with the variances. To write down the formulas and everything you have 10 minutes in all, everything. I'm changing the page to your variances names, please. Please finish. Once you'll do this, you're going to be taking 5 minutes break. So I am closing the timer and I'm putting that break also in this. So after this much time, we are going to be starting. Earlier you complete, longer will be your break. If somebody is done, you can try to tell me the answers. 173.5 favorable, then 201.5 adverse, 375 favorable, 155 favorable, 220 favorable. Yes, we all will start question number 11. Now this question is on mixture of material and labor. Material variances will also be coming, labor variances will also be coming in this. Okay, so let's start it off. The following standards have been set to manufacture a product. Okay, what standards? Material. 2 units of A at the rate of 4 rupees, 3 units of B at the rate of 3, 15 units of C at the rate of 1. Total 32. Direct labor 3 hours at the rate of 8 per hour, 24. Total standard prime cost 56. The company manufactured and sold 6,000 units of the product during the year. Direct material cost were as follows. This much units of A at the rate of 4.4, B and C. The company worked 17,500 direct labor hours during the year. Okay. For 2,500 of these hours, the company paid at the rate of 12. For the remaining wages, while for the remaining, the wages were paid at standard rates. Calculate. Now, what those guys have told, I'm going to be doing that particular part only. Calculate material price variance and usage variance. So those guys have not asked all the variances for material. and labor rate and efficiency variances. For labor, those guys have asked two things only, rate and efficiency. Okay. Now, we all will start away with the materials, but in any case, can you say materials and labor, both of them are dependent upon output. Tell me, this is a standard data for producing how many units of the product, boss? Cartoons. This is a standard data for producing how many units of the product?
6,000.
One product per unit.
This is the data for producing 1 unit of the product, no?
Yes.
Beta, this particular, the following standards have been set to manufacture a product. So therefore, to manufacture 1 unit, in this case, this is a standard cost. So therefore, this is a standard cost for 1 unit. Now tell me, in reality, company has produced how much? 6,000. So revised standard will be made for 6,000. Is it all okay?
Yes.
Now, one thing that I am saying, if you are comfortable, I'll start to do that particular thing. If the sum is easy, if we can avoid given standard, will that be okay?
Yes.
Ultimately, you only require revised standard and actual, no? So we will only try to be doing that, beta. This is the data for 1 unit. You can comfortably convert it into 6,000 in your mind also, no, yaar. Okay. Format is not compulsory in exams also. If you can manage the entire sum without the format, there will be nobody who will be more happy than me. Although, how will I know whether you have made the format or not? Okay. In any case, question number 11, you all write down. Write down. Type, given standard, revised standard, actual. One thing, I told you all not to make the given standard. What idiot I am. You all wrote given standard? So it's okay. Now please write only. That's okay now. We all have written, so that's fine. Sorry. Right now. Given standard is for 1 unit. Revised standard 6,000 units. Actual 6,000 units. Now, first of all, same format I'm going to be using for material. Quantity, rate, amount. There are 3 types of material. Labor, hours, rate, amount. Now, so for 1 unit of A, 2, 3 and 15, I don't think so I'll require much of the totals also, that's okay. 4, 3 and 1, 8, 9, 15. So for 6,000, how much will be required, beta? 12,000, 18,000, 90,000 to be purchased at the rate of 431. In actual, 12,500, 18,000, 88,500 at the rate of 4.4, 2.8, 1.2. Now listen. For materials, just tell me which 2 variances those guys have asked. Which 2 variances? Price and usage. And I guess for price and usage, this much data is enough, na beta. You can compute price and usage. Okay, you all do one thing. Write down over here material variances. You might not even get the damn amounts also here. Just compute material price variance Just compute material usage variance. Write down the formula, compute the variances, tell me the answer. Only 2 variances those guys have asked you. Finish off your material, then I will be doing the labor part. Once done, do let me know please. 2000 favorable or what? The other one 1500 adverse, please just check. Just tell me these are the answers. Okay. Can I proceed if these two are done? You don't have to be computing all of the variances. Don't do the charity work, please. Okay. Just check whether these answers are correct or not. Okay, correct. 19,100 adverse or what?
Yes, sir.
And the other one is 500. Everybody got these two answers? Okay, now listen.
Yes, sir.
Now labor I'm going to be doing just for some reason. Actually, it's too simple, but I think so that I should be doing it. Okay. You'll write down below your material usage variance, write down labor variances. Now see, for 1 unit of the product, tell me how many types of workers are there in this question?
One type.
There's only one type. I don't think so. Skilled men, skilled women, those things are given to you. So therefore, for 1 unit, 3 hours should have been taken at the rate of 8 rupees 24. So for 6,000, 18,000 hours should have been taken at the rate of 8. I guess this will be 1,44,000. Now see, what happened in reality? What happened in reality? What happened in reality? Listen. The company worked for 17,500 direct labor hours during the year. Okay. For 2,500 of these hours, the company paid at the rate of 12 rupees. Okay. While for the remaining, the wages were paid at standard rates. Now see, there is still one type of workers only, but sometimes those workers were paid at the rate of 12 and sometimes those workers were paid at the rate of 8 rupees. Okay. So therefore, let's do one thing. We'll write it twice though. So for 2,500 of these hours, company paid at the rate of 12, 30,000. And for the remaining means 17,500 minus 2,500. So 15,000 hours. They were paid at standard rates. Tell me, standard rates means at what rate, beta? 8. So therefore 1,20,000. Total 17,500, total 1,50,000. Listen. Let's start to be computed. Although they have asked you only rate and efficiency variance, but I'm going to be doing all for labor. Sir, why? Like that only, time pass. Okay. But all will not mean much also. Write down. Total labor cost variance. Standard labor cost minus actual labor cost. So 1,44,000 minus 1,50,000, 6,000 adverse. Second, labor rate variance. Standard rate minus actual rate into actual hours. Now see, beta actual rate is twice, no? Actual hours are twice, no? You also computed twice. So, at what rate we should have paid the workers? 8. Sometimes we paid at the rate of 12. Sometimes we paid at the rate of 8 only. Like this, they were 2,500 hours. Like this, they were 15,000 hours. 10,000 adverse, nil. Third, labor efficiency variance. Now, labor efficiency variance, how do we all compute it? Sir, for 6,000 units, how many hours we should have taken? 18,000. How many hours we took? 17,500. Okay, so therefore, standard hours minus actual hours into standard rate. Now, one thing, you will have to tell me this. Last question you have solved no by yourself. Beta, labor efficiency has two parts. Tell me what are the two names of the parts of the third variance? See and tell me in the last question. Labor mix and labor. One is labor mix, that is also gang composition variance. The fifth variance is called as what? Labor yield variance. Now you all will understand, beta, in this question, no, mix variance will always be 0. Sir, why 0? Beta, labor mix or material mix comes when there is more than one thing. No, it comes because of ratio. No, if there is only one thing, then what ratio? Are you correct? No. Beta, material mix will come when there is more than one type of raw material. If there is only one type of raw material, material mix will always be 0. No, same thing applies to labor also. Is that okay? So labor mix will be 0. So this variance, no, is also same as labor yield variance because labor mix variance will be 0. Is this understood? Cartoons. Labor efficiency has two parts, labor mix, labor yield. If this variance is 0, this variance will be equal to this variance, no? Okay, I am speaking now for the fourth time. Is it understood? So this variance you all can compute based upon any logic. Everything will always be same only. So therefore, how many hours you should have taken? 18,000. How many hours workers have taken? 17,500. Whether you multiply by weighted average rate, that will be 8 only, or you multiply by individual rate, in any case there will be 8 only, because in any case there is only one type of worker, no? Okay, the first understood. So 4,000 favorable. You can write down your check if you wish. This will tally with this plus this. This will tally with this plus this. Everyone is done. Okay. चलो now, but in labor, no, we can have quite a lot of variety, and we are trying to do our last two questions for that particular variety only. 12 and 13 are almost same, but you will require some concept wise knowledge now. Listen, see, type is there. Listen to me very carefully, don't copy. Given standard, revised standard, actual data. Material variances and labor variances, we are talking of labor, are dependent upon output. Hours, rate, amount, hours, rate, amount, hours, rate, amount. Okay. Skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled, etc. Now see, whatever I am about to be saying, you all have learned exactly the same thing from me in overheads chapter quite recently. We are only trying to talk of one thing. What is that particular one thing? And that is, these hours include what? These hours include what? Now, example, a worker came to my factory. He asked me, how much will you pay? I told, forget about that, but first of all, listen to our terms. Come to the factory at 10 a.m. and be there in the factory till 6 p.m. So therefore, be there in the factory for 8 hours. Workers told, sir, we will work for 8 hours, sir. Okay, I told, keep quiet. I have not told work for 8 hours. I have told come to the factory for 8 hours. Out of that, 2 hours will be your lunch break, tea break, whatever break you require for personal needs. So therefore, 2 hours will give you that particular thing. So therefore, you are supposed to be working for 6 hours. Workers told, okay, sir, we'll work for 6 hours. Okay. They will ask me, sir, how much will you pay? I told them, you work properly, we'll pay you at the rate of rupees 80 per hour. So therefore, if you work for 1 day properly, you are supposed to be getting 480 bucks. They told, okay, sir, we will work properly. Although 480 is 6 hours at the rate of 80 per hour, in costing, we always treat this 480 as, we all have done this particular thing in past, no? Duffers. We all have done this particular thing in past, no? We always follow this particular system, whereby we take 480 and then in that particular case, we take over here 8 hours. This will become balancing figure. Okay. This time that management knows in advance workers will be wasting is going to be called as which time? Normal idle time is going to be called as which time? Normal. We always follow this particular system. Now the impact of this particular system is always workers get paid for 8 hours. Workers get paid for, speak, workers get paid for 8 hours. Wherever we record time of workers, wherever we record time of workers, we always record, wherever we record time of workers, we always record the time that includes normal idle time. Okay, now listen, see. In this particular case, no, these are standards, beta. These are standards. Standards are made on the first day. Even on first day, management knows that it has to allot lunch break, tea break, all the normal means we know in advance. Okay, management has only allotted these 2 hours, no? So therefore, these standards, these hours always include normal idle time. If these will include, these will also include here. And just now only I told you, even in actual data, normal idle time is included only. That's very obvious. Okay. Why obvious? In this particular case, because workers are going to be getting paid for 8 hours. So therefore, 8 hours include normal idle time. So therefore, all your hours, whatever 2 or 3 questions you all have done of labor, all those particular questions, all the hours that are there, they include normal idle time. Now try to be thinking the next thing. If normal idle time is there over here also, and if normal idle time is over here also, then you can forget it. Okay. Sir, why to forget it? Because you are doing a chapter of standard costing, whereby you are interested in variances. Beta, variances come because of differences, no? So therefore, if normal idle time is over here also, and same normal idle time is over here also, can we say due to that there is no difference, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, eat something and try to speak bit loudly. Normal idle time is there over here also, it is over here also. So therefore in that case, there is no difference because of that. No, because it is present in revised standard and in actual. I am 5 times your age, I can shout 10 times more as compared to you. Bloody can't utter a word also. Now listen, cartoons. Now, so therefore ICANR since 1949 till 2018, they never ever asked a question in standard costing where normal idle time was given to them. Okay, was given to the students, because normal idle time is over here also and over here also. Sir, what happened in 2018? They made some useless sum, did something pathetic. Then we wrote down a letter to them. They did not accept it. After 2 years, they all changed that question only. So now I'm not trying to educate you all much about that particular question. Forget it off. So they will never ever ask you a question whereby there is normal idle time, because normal idle time will be over here also, will be over here also. So in any case, due to that, there is no difference. So in standard costing, you know, if something is there over here also, something is there over here also, due to that, there will be no difference. No.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So sir, then why did you teach us this only if they will never ever ask a question? Because of the next thing that I'm about to be saying. Next day, no, workers came to the factory at 10 a.m. They had to be working till 6 p.m. with lunch break vagera of 2 hours. They started to work. Okay. 10 a.m. they worked. 10 a.m. they all started to work. Till 2 p.m. they all worked. 2 to 4 was their lunch break. They took their lunch break. They ate the food. They slept. They got up at 4 o'clock. Had to be working till 6 o'clock. They were working. At 5 o'clock, electricity went. They were seeing towards the tube lights only. When will electricity come? It did not come. They all went home. So what happened on that particular day? Did they come to the factory for 8 hours? Yes. They were not supposed to be working for 2 hours. They never worked for 2 hours. They were supposed to be working for 6 hours. Yes. But they worked for how many hours? 5 hours. So therefore 1 hour will be their abnormal idle time. 1 hour will be their abnormal idle time. Now usually contract between the workers and the management will ensure this particular thing, that even for this 1 hour workers are getting paid for sure. Is it workers' mistake that electricity went? No. So therefore they will still be getting paid for that 1 hour. Now see, this 1 hour is called as abnormal idle time. Now listen very carefully. Abnormal idle time cannot be there in standard. No, standards are made on the first day. On first day, you don't know that electricity will be going on some day. Machine will suddenly become faulty on some day. You will not know those particular things, no?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, in given standard, abnormal idle time cannot be there. If in this it is not there, even in revised standard it will not be there. But can we say, in actual data, abnormal idle time can be there, no?
Yes, sir.
Workers will be getting paid for that particular 1 hour. Yeah? So therefore, do remember, abnormal idle time can only be there in one single information. Which is that information? Actual data. Okay. Rest, it will not be at any other place. Okay. Now listen. If it is there, what difference does it make to you? It makes a difference. Now, first of all, from now for this entire chapter, whenever I will speak the word idle time, no. Idle time will always mean abnormal idle time. Idle time will always mean
Abnormal.
because normal idle time they will not even give you in the question. They will never ever give you that particular thing. Okay. So idle time means abnormal idle time, and if it is there in the question, then what the hell it matters to you? It matters. How does it matter? That is what I am trying to tell you at this particular stage. So abnormal idle time will only be there in actual data. Okay. And if it is there in the question, abnormal idle time, if it is there in the question, then what difference does it make to you? It makes, first, total labor cost variance. How much we should have incurred, how much we have incurred, that will be your first variance. Broken up into labor rate variance, standard rate minus actual rate into actual hours. But then we are going to be calculating a new variance. Which variance? This will be called as labor idle time variance. Labor idle time variance will be calculated whenever idle time data is given to you. Is that all fine?
Yes, sir.
And then in that case, you try to be proceeding in a normal way. Labor efficiency variance broken up into mix and your yield variance. Okay. This will be one extra variance that will be coming if idle time data is given. Now tell me in the last two questions, why the hell I did not teach you the concept of idle time? Because idle time was not given to you in the problem. Okay, by default, abnormal idle hours are always 0. By default, abnormal idle hours are always 0. If it will be there, they will tell you in the question. Last two questions, it's a remote possibility, boss. Okay, so therefore, if it will be there, they'll give you. Okay, if they'll not give you, then you forget it. Okay, so that's what will start to be coming in our next question. Okay, our last two questions slightly similar to each other. If your 12th will be done, your 13th will be done quite fast. Listen, Sonu Limited manufactures product X, which requires 2 hours of skilled men, 3 hours of semi-skilled men, 5 hours of unskilled men per unit at the rate of 5, 3 and 2 per hour. During Jan, production department reported output of 5,000 units of X. The labor cost incurred was detailed as below. Type skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled. Obviously, this is the actual data. Now, this line you all forget it off for the timing. Calculate labor cost variances. Okay, this line I will come back in some time. Listen. Tell me, sum is on labor, no? So therefore, labor variance are dependent upon what particular factor? Output. You tell me, first two lines give you the standard data for producing how many units of X? Please run your Intel processors of your mind slightly faster. First two lines of the question give, that is the standard data for how many units of X for 1 unit, no?
Yes,
But then in reality, workers have produced how much? 5,000. So revised standard will be made for 5,000. Now I leave that thing to you. You want to make given standard, you don't want to be making, that is all your call. So make your given standard if you want. Definitely make your revised standard. Actual data is there with you. You all do that. And calculate the first two variances of labor. First two variances means total labor cost variance and labor rate variance. Will you be able to do that?
Yes.
And next after that, don't do anything. Rest of the entire sum I will start to be completing. Okay. You have got 5 minutes for the format and for the first two variances. Please start. Done till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen, now see. In this particular case, next thing over here, tell me one thing. In this question, something that we all have not read, so we got to be reading that particular part. So let's read that. Total hours paid for included 1,000 idle hours. Okay. Due to machine breakdown, etc., out of which 500 hours pertain to skilled men, 400 pertain to semi-skilled men, and the balance, I guess balance will be 100 because in all there were 1,000, right? And balance 100 to unskilled men. Calculate labor cost variances. So first of all, in this question, is there idle time? Is there idle time in this problem?
no, sir. Yes,
Yes, sir.
at normal yesterday.
Okay.
Yes,
I read idle time only information right now. Thank you for the non-cooperation. Okay. So, there is idle time. So, if there is idle time, let's compute idle time variance. Now, idle time by default means which idle time, beta?
Normal.
Abnormal, because normal information those guys will not even give you also. Okay, so now I'm asking you all some question. Think and then tell me. Okay, like always, please don't reply suddenly. Tell me, in every question that you all will ever do, how much are standard idle hours? How much are standard idle hours?
50,000.
Okay. Same question, second time. How much are standard idle hours in every question that you all will do? 0. So this variance is the simplest one, beta. Directly pick up actual idle hours, skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled, write down. Actual idle hours are 500, 400 and 100. $500, 400 and 100. Okay, into. Listen. Now, obviously, these are hours, beta. Standard idle hours are always 0. So, you directly pick up actual idle hours and then you will proceed. But to get at the variance, you got to be multiplied by some rate. Use common sense think whatever we all have done since yesterday, you should be able to reply. Multiply by which rate beta? Standard rate or actual rate? There are only two options in standard costing. Should I multiply by standard rate? Should I multiply by actual rate? Standard. I'm telling you all the reason why. In rate variance, I have already talked of the rate differences, no?
Yes, sir.
In rate variance, how did you compute your rate variance for the first worker? 5 minus 7 into 9,000. Can we say we have talked of the rate difference for entire 9,000 hours, no? So therefore now that 2 rupees rate difference we will never ever talk of. So therefore once your rate variance is calculated, in any case can we say these rates have been converted into the standard rates, no?
Yes, sir.
So therefore please multiply by standard rates 5, 3 and 2. 2500, 1200, 200.
3900.
39. But one thing I did not come to know, beta, adverse or favorable as per you? Adverse. Beta, workers, na, they are not working, but still company has to pay them. For company, this is a loss situation, not directly. So therefore, always adverse. And write down the formula now. It is idle hours into standard rate. Fourth. Now it is your same thing only, but it will not exactly remain same. Labor efficiency variance. Now, sir, how to be computing labor efficiency variance now? Listen. Yesterday I told you one rule. Let's try to recap that rule. If a variance can be broken up, you break it up. If the variance cannot be broken up, give its effect, no? If you give the effect of labor rate variance, can we say these three figures will change into 5, 3 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now forget of that. That you all know. If you give the effect of idle time variance over here, I'm asking you all, think before you will reply. Which first number will change into which number in your format? 9,000 will change into 8,500. But out of 9,000, you have spoken of 500 hours, no? So therefore, now those 500 hours are gone. So therefore, left will only be 8,500. Is that all okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I require some of your English language now. Tell me, these hours are which hours? Actual hours. Thank you. That I have only written. Please something, speak better. Something better. These hours are which hours? It is actual only. That is what I told right now. Give me some better words in life, please. Check your textbook. It is given. Those hours are which hours, beta? Hours paid for. You write down over here. Hours paid for. You lazy people. You write down over there. Hours paid for. So therefore, workers came to the factory for 9,000 hours. Therefore, I paid them for 9,000 hours. But out of 9,000 hours, those guys have not worked for how many hours, beta? 500 hours. So if I remove 9,000, if I remove 500 from 9,000, I'll be left with 8,500. So tell me, 8,500 will represent which hours? What are you saying, man? I'll become zombie. Out of 9,000, if I remove 500, you will be left with which hours? 8,500 will represent which hours? Hours worked. Is that language okay? Is Angrezi okay?
Yes, sir.
So do remember one thing. After your idle time variance, hours paid for will get converted into hours worked. Is that all fine?
Yes.
So before I proceed with efficiency variance, no, I got to be calculating hours worked over here because it is not seen in the format. Okay, so write down hours worked, skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled, 9,000, 17,000, 30,000, minus, 500, 400, 100. 8,500, 16,600, 29,900, 55,000. Now you compute your efficiency variance in all a normal way. Now please try to tell me this, whatever you all have done in the last so many questions, tell me for efficiency variance now, which number I should divide in what ratio?
10,000 by 50,000.
Sorry. What did I? It is a stupid question. Okay, that I should have asked you in the mix variance. Let's start to be computing. You don't need to be making this. Sorry. Let's compute our variance. Sorry. Write down variance. So skilled, semi-skilled. I thought we are on mix variance. Sorry. So now it is your normal efficiency variance. You all tell me for skilled workers, it will be what minus what into what? 10,000, that is how many hours workers should have taken. So 10,000, 15,000, 25,000 minus. Can we say now we are going to be taking hours worked, no?
Yes, sir.
So therefore minus 8,500, 16,600, 29,900 into 5,3 into 12,500 favorable, 4,800 adverse, 1,500 into 5, 7,500 favorable, 1,600 into 3, 4,800 adverse, 9,800, 4,900 into 2. Net answer is beta how much? 7,100 adverse. Now listen, one slightly a bigger check. Your first variance was 9750. Will tally with 1750 favorable plus idle time variance. Now there are three parts of it, no? Plus 7,100 adverse. Please check on your calci whether it is working or not.
Yes, sir.
Further, this part is altogether done. Now one thing, you are going to be doing 5th and 6th variance for me, but whenever you are doing 5th and 6th variance for me, in this particular case, you are not going to be seeing these hours. You are going to be seeing which particular hours, beta? Hours work. So therefore you are going to be seeing this particular data. You all do one thing, you all write down over here 5th variance, name is what? Labor mix or gang composition variance. Compute this yourself and then try to be computing last. I will also be doing in just a while, but now there is nothing new as such except in hours worked. You are going to be taking hours worked and not those hours paid for, okay, because idle time variance is over. So try to be doing that. In case it tallies, 4 should tally though with 5 plus 6. In it tallies, it must be correct only. Try it out. Done? Okay, one sec. Labor yield variance. How many hours workers should have taken? 50,000. Tell me, how many hours did workers take, beta? 55,000 into 1,45,000 upon 50,000. 14,500 adverse. Then standard mix for actual hours worked, skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled. So which number you all have divided in what ratio over here?
55,000.
55,000 we divide in the ratio of 10:15:25. This is 11,000. 15,500 or 16,500? 16,500. 27,500. Variance: skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled. So what should have been the breakup of 55,000? 11,000, 16,500, 27,500. What was the actual breakup? So what was the actual breakup? 8,500, 16,600, 29,900 into 532. So this is 12,500 favorable. This is 300 adverse, 4,800 adverse. Correct, no?
Yes.
This comes to how much?
7,400.
7,400 favorable. I guess your fourth variance will tally with 5 plus 6.
Yes.
7,100 adverse will be tallying with 7,400 favorable plus 14,500 adverse. Now, please do remember, from here onwards, everywhere in your formulas, actual hours will get replaced by actual hours worked. Is that all okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is one thing that you will have to try to remember. Okay, listen. Now, do one thing. I got to be doing the last question because it is almost same and will be taking maximum 5 minutes. But before that, you are going to be doing one thing. Come in your textbook, in your second chart, please. This chart. And start to write down the formulas, please. First, I'll complete that big circle down. So, labor variances are always dependent upon what particular factor? Output. So, this is standard labor cost minus actual labor cost. This is standard rate minus actual rate. Now, be careful, you write down over here into actual hours paid for beta. Idle time variance is idle hours into standard rate. These are standard hours minus actual hours worked into standard rate. Labor mix. So, labor mix in this particular case will be standard mix of actual hours worked minus actual mix of actual hours worked into standard wage rate. Labor efficiency, standard total hours minus actual total hours worked into standard weighted average rate, or rate you can call as wage rate also. Done, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen. Now, let's get on with the last question, and it is almost the replica of your previous question only. Just one line has changed. Listen. Question number 13. First paragraph same as your previous question. Table same as the previous question. Total hours paid for included 1000 idle hours due to machine breakdown. Calculate labor cost for ICS. Tell me what information that was there in the previous question is not there in this particular question. The breakup of idle hours. Obviously, you all do require the breakup for sure. If you will not get the breakup, how the hell you will start to complete it? So, if ever breakup of idle hours is not given, actually you can assume it in any ratio. But ICAI usually assumes it in the ratio of standard hours. Standard hours are 2, 3 and 5. Okay. So therefore, if ever breakup of idle hours are not given, please you assume it in standard ratio. So therefore, breakup of 1000 idle hours will be 200, 300 and 500 with the help of that assumption. Is that all okay?
Yes.
And then you start to resolve the entire question. Although you might not have to resolve the entire question, only few things. You all write down, first of all, write down in your notebooks. Question number 13. Write down. If breakup of idle hours is not given, comma, if breakup of idle hours is not given, comma, we assume it to be same as we assume it to be in ratio of, we assume it to be in ratio of standard hours, that is 2 is to 3 is to 5. Full stop. Therefore, idle hours are 200, 300 and 500. Acha. Now you all will tell me that is the only difference. The breakup of idle hours is changing. Think yourself, don't write anything. Tell me, will your format change? Yes or no? Everybody, yes or no? No. So therefore, this is not required. Tell me, will your labor cost variance change? Yes or no? If your format is not changing, your first variance will not change, beta. Think now. Labor rate variance, will it change? Yes or no? No. But obviously in this particular case, your next variance will be changing, no, for sure. Third variance will change. Can we say if third variance will change, it will make an impact on the fourth variance also, no?
Yes.
Because this breakup will start to be changing. Okay. And apart from that, I think if your fourth variance will change, even your fifth variance will change because this breakup will start to change, no?
Yes.
Okay. And last question. Think. Tell me, will your sixth variance change? Yes or no? No, because still total of hours worked will be 55,000, no?
Yes.
Okay. So what will remain same? Format will remain same. Variance number 1, 2 and 6 will remain same. Other 3 things will change. So those are the only 3 things to be calculated. In your notebooks, you will write down format. You write down the word format. And variance 1, 2 and 6 will remain same. Format and variance 1, 2 and 6 will remain same. So now finish off your third variance, fourth variance and fifth variance and write down those checks also once more because checks also obviously will be changing only. Your third, fourth and fifth variance will be changing. So you are only computing third, fourth and fifth variance and nothing else. And obviously after that, if your checks will be working, it is all perfect only. Okay, just wait. Tell me your new variances, please. Your new third variance is how much? 2,900. These will be your new variances. Okay, once you all get this, this is all done. We'll meet up next time.